As an administrator, when you log into the site, you'll come to this dashboard. This is mine, and I'm going to talk you through what you can do from here. From this dashboard, you can easily manage your users, create groups, and check your organisation's history. From the dashboard, you can add and delete users. So I'm going to show you now how to add a user. Click on the user tab, and you have two options. To add a single user, you need to use the new user tab here. If you have several users you want to import to the site at once, then you need to click on bulk import users, but we'll look at that secondly. So let's look at adding a single user first. Double click here. We're going to put in the user's name, and we're going to put in the user's email address here. Okay. At this point, if you wanted to and your organisation uses photographs, you could select choose file here under avatar and upload your user's photograph. I'm going to change this user status to invited. Only those users who are invited by an administrator to join the site will receive an activation email asking them to confirm their email address and also to choose a password. So I'm going to add my user here, and the site will tell me now that I've been successful. And if I look down here at my list of users, I can check that that has been added. And all the users you'll see are in alphabetical order. And this user now has a status of invited, which means they haven't yet activated their account and accepted my invitation. To upload multiple users to the site, click on Bulk Import Users and download the CSV template. Now, put your user's name into the CSV template, exactly copying the format of the name that's already in there. And save the file locally as a CSV file. You're now ready to upload your file. So first, browse for your file, and then click Upload File. At this point, the system will check for errors, and you can see here that I have made some data errors. So now I have the opportunity to fix those. John Jones, I can see a spelling mistake in his name, and also I've forgotten to include the @ sign in his email address. So I'm going to add that now and then ask the system to check again. And this time, all of my users are ready for import. Now, one thing to note here is that their status, when you do this bulk import, will automatically default to not yet invited. If you would like any of these users at this point to be invited to activate their account and to verify their email address and choose a password, you can change this status from not yet invited to invited. If you've made a mistake and you'd like to take one of them off the list, then just highlight here, clicking the remove box. Now upload new users, and they've been added to your user list. I want to show you now how to manage your list of users. So double click on the users again. Here's your list. It's in alphabetical order. It will show whether the status, whether your users have activated their user accounts or whether their status is still invited. If it shows invited, it means that they haven't clicked the activation link in the email that they were originally sent. So to re-invite them, just hover over them and click re-invite. And the site will show you that it has successfully re-invited that user. You can also edit them from here. So click on edit, and this is the place where you can change their name, their email address. You can load your photograph here if you still wish to do that. You can change their passwords here, but I really would recommend that you ask your users to change any forgotten passwords using the homepage of the site. And here you can change their role. Now all users will default to being a regular user, but if you do want to give somebody else administrator rights, then just change their status here to owner. The other thing that you can do from the user page of the site is you can delete a user. So if one of your staff have left and they no longer require an account, then you can delete them from here. I want to show you now how to put your users into groups. Double click on the Groups tab. You'll see I've already got some groups set up here. I'm going to show you how to create a new group. Double click on the New Group tab and add your group name. This can be anything you want it to be so that it fits within your organisation's structure. And I have the option here of making this a personal group, which means that only I as an administrator will be able to see the membership of this group. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make this a public group and I'm going to save it. And now when we look here, we'll be able to see the English department has been added to my list of groups and it currently has no users. So to add users, I'm going to edit and I'm going to add my users to that group. And now we should see that it has 2 users. If at any time I wanted to delete this group, I can do so here. If I ever want to add members, I can just edit and add some more people. If I want to remove any people from that group, I can just click on the group, hover over the person and just remove them from that group. This won't remove them as users from the site, it will just remove them from that one group. So if I remove that person, here we go, and the confirmation that they've been removed from the group. If I want to add people to groups, I can add somebody to as many groups as I want to. So it's entirely possible that somebody will be in the NQT group and will also be in the English department. I want to show you now how to create a list, and this is something that all users can do. But as an administrator, you may want to recommend these lists to the groups that you've just set up. Now anyone can do this, but I think it's probably worth showing you how to. So double click on the how to's and this will take you through to the technique page. And when you hover over one of the techniques, you'll see that you have an option to add this to a list. So let's add this to a list, and we could, if we wanted to, add it to the existing list, or we could create a new list. So I'm going to create a new list. I'm going to name it and then add the new list. Okay, and I'm going to save it. Now, when I go back into my techniques, if I hover over something else, I now have the option to add it to one or both of these lists. I'm going to add it to the Twilight 22nd of March list, and I'm going to save. And then when I go back to my dashboard and I click on lists, I'll be able to see that I have here a list that I created for the 22nd of March, and it has 2 techniques. Now, if I want to, because I've set up my groups, I can recommend these techniques to either a single user, or if I prefer, I can recommend it to an entire department. So I'm going to recommend this to my coaches, and I'm going to give them a note asking them to please review this prior to the Twilight training on 22nd of March 2013. Click recommend, and that recommendation has now been sent to everybody who is in that group. That recommendation will be pushed not only within their own dashboards, but also will be pushed to their email. So they will get an email notification that there is a recommendation that has been made and is waiting for them to view in How to Teach.